minutes that they should have. So, apologies. So, there's an apology from Councillor Paul Tweed. Anybody else? So, item 2 is the declarations of interest. Do any members wish to record or register a declaration of interest? If not, if it occurs to you during the meeting, please speak up. So, the minutes of the previous meetings, these are listed on pages 5 to 12. Can these be approved? Agreed. I'll sign them in due course. So now we have the corporate risk, item 4, corporate risk register for 23-24, the October to March update.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. The purpose of this report is to inform members of the current risks contained in the corporate risk register, the status of the risks and the associated control measures, including any updates for the period October 23 to March 24. And the recommendation is recommended that members approve the updated corporate risk for 2023-24, which incorporates the current status of those certain risks including 2024. Members, I don't necessarily intend to go through all of the corporate risks. The document is quite weighty in its kind of content, really, but I'm happy to be drawn to particular aspects of it to provide an overview and some insights. But what I would say in the kind of context of set out in the first instance, there's a lot of detailed information there. There's some things which are corporate risks and arguably in terms of things, some things more specific and operational risks. And the intention over the course of the next number of months, certainly included within the Monitoring Officer's functional plan, is to review the corporate risk register, how we are portraying those risks to the authority, and ensuring that we're providing very salient information due to the scrutiny going forward. We think we've got to a point where the number of risks is stifling that ability there. So, without going into any specifics, Chair, I'm happy to take questions on any of the risks that are contained within or move to the recommendation.
Thank you. It's very complicated document. All organisations, public organisations, operate with the corporate risk registers. Some of this possibly needs to be amalgamated, some of it needs to be sort of made a little bit more focused, but there is the document for you. Any questions on the corporate risk register? No? So, recommended the members approve the updated corporate risk register for 23-24, which incorporates the current status of those risks to March 24. Is that agreed? Agreed. So next is 5, Service Delivery Plan 23-24, End of Year Report. It's to be found on pages 85 to 282.
And again, the purpose of this report is requesting that members scrutinise the performance of the Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service against the objectives and the performance targets stroke outcomes as set out in the Service Delivery Plan 2023-2024 for the period January to March. These updates have been grayed out for ease of reading, and the recommendation is recommended that members approve the attached Service Delivery Plan updates for publication on the website. I will, if members will bear with me, I will take you through certain aspects of this particular report in a little bit more detail and reference some of the kind of methodology, certainly for newer members, in regards to our summary indicators and then tier 1 and tier 2 outcome and output indicators, which underpin some of the outcomes that we've achieved over the course of the last 12 months. And actually, this report concerning Service Delivery reporting with regards to performance kind of captures that 12-month review. But as I say, some of the summary indicators we'll talk about number of primary fires, and then we'll be broken down to more detail on how members to scrutinise the performance of the service in that respect. So if we do that and draw members' attention to page 89 of the pack, it starts to talk about our service delivery plan and our performance. And I will go through each one of the areas in a bit more detail. But what I would say to members is, and you will understand, I've been in this role 34, this is my 35th year. and the culmination of benchmarking some indicators. This is the best performance that I have seen in all 34 years. And I'll talk to you about some specifics there around the number of incidents declining given the extensive prevention, detection and response activity that the services have embarked on. So the first indicator I'll draw members' attention to is in relation to the total number of emergency calls received. And you'll see that that is down 19% or 4,745 calls when compared to last year. Okay, significant improvements will then manifest through the other indicators. Total number of incidents attended. Obviously, we get a number of calls into the fire control. We don't always attend every single one, but the total number of incidents attended. Again, over the period of the plans, has dropped from 19,214 to 17,345. So again, that's a 7.5% reduction in incidents attended. So the preventative work that we undertake in terms of protective activities certainly paying dividends. Following on to page 92, we talk about the total number of fires attended in Merseyside, and we start getting to some of the specifics which are certainly we are most proud of. And you'll see a reduction from 7,169, the target, to 5,360, which again is 1,753 fewer than it was previously at the point it was 1,809, and very much focused in on a variety of the work that we undertake, as I say, from prevention, protection, some of the arson prevention work that is delivered by our teams, like community safety activity, and extending into some work we do around total number of primary fires has reduced from below target of 1,983, currently stands at 1,653. Again, 208 fewer than we had in 2023. And what I would draw members' attention to particularly is over the page, which breaks down the primary fires attended into specific areas. So the total number of accidental dwelling fires attended. And if I take members back only maybe 3-4 years, if that, what we would be talking about is the potential for us to break 1,000 accidental dwelling fires, and that was something which we've never achieved up until very recently. Fast forward to where we are now, and you see the number of accidental dwelling fires at 669, which is unprecedented, and certainly probably unimaginable at that time. What does that deliver for us? Well, actually, it delivers or sees a reduction in accidental dwelling fire fatalities over certain areas. We had one fire death, which again was unimaginable. Not only probably 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when we were experiencing high teens and into the 20s, and the number of fatalities that we've received, very much down to our targeted prevention activity where we go into part of our communities based on vulnerability factors, but equally, more latterly, very targeted at those of the communities which are socioeconomically disadvantaged. We are really seeing that dividends, and you don't necessarily just mean me to tell you that. The HMI, so the inspectors, the Merseyside Fire Rescue Service, outstanding in the work of prevention. So after this targeted long-term safety, it extends to community safety and education. So incredibly proud of the work done by the teams, the whole teams, response to prevention and protection of that care. You move on to similar reductions or certainly similar performance in regards to the delivered dwelling fires, number of fires on occupied property, which again is indicated at green, and there have been no fatalities in delivered fires, etc. Turn over the page onto page 96. We talk about the number of secondary fires which we have attended, and again, from a Metropolitan Fire Rescue Service perspective, anti-social behaviour fires, as we would determine more locally, have always lighted our communities to a greater or lesser degree. And so when you see a significant performance improvement against that which is described, which is a 29.4% reduction, which is 1,545 fewer incidents than we had previously. You will understand that there's a huge reduction on the plight of our communities in regards to that respect. A lot of the work done via community safety, but also reduction teams, working with partner agencies, and even over the period of the bonfire period, really effectively engaging with communities, schools, to ensure that the number of attacks, unfortunately, on firefighters reduces, but also the number of incidents reduces over that same period. So again, highlighting the performance. There's a couple of ambers, Steve, but certainly one of the ambers in regards to the number of incidents, false alarms attended by the service. Again, be a little bit of a juxtaposition really, so really proactive in preventing unwanted fire signals, but equally, we've got a number of calls which are with good intent, and self-evidently we wouldn't want people to stop calling the fire and rescue service if they have some concerns over individuals, and not this year, fortunately, but certainly in previous years, we relate to us on numerous occasions of neighbours hearing smoke alarms actuating in properties adjacent or next door, and not calling us maybe till the morning period, at which point there's been a fatality in that area intervention, because arguably we didn't want to disturb us. The facts of the matter are, we would want them to, because that is not a false alarm, that is something that we tend to bring a fire service there to ensure the safety and the well-being of their neighbour. And so it is double-edged in regards to the performance in relation to that. Yes, we're encouraging reporting and discouraging unwanted fire signals. In regards to the attendance standard, the first attendance applies to all this instance, which we set our standard at 10 minutes on 90% of occasions. You will see our progress to date is way in excess of that, on 95.9% of occasions we meet that response standard. And it's broken down a little bit into how calls are handled and how crews quickly can oblige. But again, a very high level of performance. Again, and we already know this, but 10% isn't a target to be achieved, because we are much quicker than that in responding to communities. Across the page, we move on to page 100, which is details of sickness absence and the shifts lost as a result of such absence. We set our target, that was at 4%, and our current progress to date is slightly above that at 4.34%. Again, broken down into where that sickness absence occurs through different green, red book and grey book roles, just to allow the service to understand the kind of nuances associated with that. And that work continued proactively to bring down sickness absence, because in an operating context, if someone is off sick and unavailable, that can have potential implications on appliance availability in the future. And there is a reference in the documentation, and a passive reference really to some of our staff waiting elongated periods of time for the likes of operations and so on and so forth, and as a result of that, they are delayed in returning back into the service. But our occupational health support is exceptional, as members know. And then final performance-related indicator talks about our carbon output, links directly back into our aspirations around our RMP and future CRMP, around carbon neutral and so on and so forth. And again, really positive around progress to date on carbon output. And the chair has referenced the Training and Development Academy, the new station, and the National Museum of Centre of Excellence, and they are all built around that kind of ambition to reduce our carbon footprint and self-evidently being delivered in that respect. So I'll pause at that point here just to take any questions before I move on to the HMI updates and some of the functional planning updates. So I'll have to take any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. It's not a question really, it's more about a comment. I very much welcome the report, and without being complacent, I think we should offer thanks and congratulations not just to the leadership of the Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service, but all staff employed by it, for the way they conduct their business on a day-to-day basis and represent and look after and defend the public of Merseyside. I just hope that the public within Merseyside do recognise the service they're getting, and I just think it needs to be placed on record.
Because that's what we're here for, absolutely.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, echo Councillor Kenny's comments there. Great work, great to see so much improvement in many areas. I just want to, you have to forgive me, I always hone in on the RTC stuff a bit, especially the subject of mine. PCC, where I just wanted to mention with the, I think it's page 10 of the sub-report, sorry, I think the page number of the entire 300-page document, 98 is it? It mentions around how there has been a few road traffic collisions, which is cool, 8 fatalities, which is obviously not cool at all, and it does mention there there's no target for this incident type. I just wonder whether, in collaboration with partners, the police, local authorities, we can get some kind of target in there, because I'm just thinking we've got this Vision Zero target for the whole region. I think we really should be, as a, collectively, not just the fire authority, be working towards getting that down as much as possible. So more of an open.
Yeah, and then, Chair, if I may, there's no the same reference to the work that we do around road safety, but it's very much a shared indicator, because different functions, different organisations have different focuses. So, we're policing from an enforcement point of view, and authority in regards to the education, but also kind of creating a safe environment and road infrastructure. And our focus has been around education. So we're doing a fair number of campaigns around road safety, part of some statewide brand, and we're really focusing on educating young people, probably not younger adults who just have that cost of driving, because some behaviours are influenced by their peers, and some of the things that can be negative. So it's an output indicator and a shared outcome indicator, if that makes sense. And what we have tried to do is put shared indicators in around outcome, and the reason why these are benchmark indicators at the lower level. It does go into the details of a number of educational interventions delivered and so on and so forth. So absolutely stand by that way, I think, and certainly weaving that into the
Yes, I think what Brian said, I think also the results of this, the way it's going to bring a self-achieve, everybody involved, capitalist service, which are proud of that, and how honored it is to be associated with such a good service. So those when you have a benchmark results from this, capitalist services, I'm sure that it will not stop. I'm sure that it will not stop the best capitalist services in the country. I think it's I don't know that's the that's the in fact, that's the continuing that we do, a lot of these efficiently to across the service. And that's also as well as for our staff. One of the things that I have, and I think I always really say that I'm not bad enough, and we did do some work on it for the years, so we do some. I know it's always difficult, but we know certain places that ones are like actually Australians. We do the combination of ones. But those ones now are those are the season centres. And they don't respond, we have to respond. And all the instances of that, because if it's only up to $1,000 from them, we have to think of how much as a unit cost of visit to the service. So firefighters to get ready to attend the call, so obviously go cost around the 10. It takes away that resource specifically for us, and then there is where these firefighters will be needed. So it's a waste of those in that sense. And hence, we should go to organisations need to understand the pressure that's on the service and the fact that it does take away from the negative. So we need to turn down on that. And I don't know whether that might be useful to get some detail on those issues like we need to target necessary information. Because I don't know as a authority that is in charge and the marshals, they could be safe. basis, just use our resources. And I think that needs to look at the issue choices, because it just seems to be ignored. And for me, it's not acceptable. But let's take away that resource, and things like the violence, and also activity.
Thank you. I'll come back to the performance and I'll come back to the performance of life. Generally, performance and action with regards to improvements, and it was it's a small way down to that kind of less suit of improvement. So what we call over the performance of the service in relation to where we are targeting and where we are going. And what's classing is no different. To be clear, on to be the end of the and I will ask Kevin, leading on the perceptions, team's perspective, at a point in time to come back out for one short to scrutiny details some of the work that we do with on receiving centres and also with businesses. We have taken some significant policy decisions over the time from one to where we would go to, where we wouldn't. We still go to more life risk instance in that respect. But we haven't chosen to charge at this particular point in time because what we just haven't, probably more predicated on concerns over people not calling us on the basis of thinking that we would charge, and we've got to get that right. But still, there's in place in different financial services in that country. It may well be something we need to revisit for horrific offenders where we don't believe that the message is landing in regards to the action that we need to take. But what we'll do is we'll take an action and take everything that is policy and through learning and short scrutiny.
Yes, we're just clarifying on the which also concrete reductions of the number of
Yeah, so with that approach as well, to support those particular initiatives and different anything we feel drive down road accidents, accidents with pedestrians as much as that. I think that there's different views now around 20 mile, 30 mile speed limits and the success of them. However, our focus is on prevention and education, and if we can prevent down road collisions through reduction of speed limits followed by others, then we should not take that.
If you do could we have just a quick
Yeah, look, it's two-way that I think as much as anything else, if any members pick up concerns over members of the public in regards to access issues affecting financial service and feelings of legitimacy that we bring into the fore, and we have had some of those linked into the warm weather, funny enough, and people en masse going to kind of West Kirby or to Formby so on and so forth, and then the access for fire engines becomes challenging at times, and we have got the ability to go off, educate people to try and ensure that we work with our partners to prevent such occurrences happening. So, if you have any concern, please flag them. But we have had occasions where individuals will suggest that there's issues and problems. We will go off, assess that particular area, and be assured that we can get access to that, and we have done numerous cases where they get back into to the authority members, and they have directly back into that concern.
Thank you. Yes, oh,
Yeah, okay, if that's, I'll move on, Chair.
please.
In relation to the, bit that followed, which is on page 1 and 3, which is the draft HMIC FRS report 2023 action plan, which again, I won't go into any particular detail given the performances. It's come to a conclusion in regard to what they've completed. However, you'll work your way through, and the inspector will come to me so they make recommendations in regard to how we can improve, despite the fact that we have 1,003 outstandings. We know that there's still work for us to do to improve. It goes back to the points that Peter made around that pursuit of continuous improvement. And then we follow up those actions and then we report them back into the HMI and also indeed to the authority in regard to scrutinising on performance against the work that's been delivered so far. If I move members on again, in regards to, as members will be familiar, the functional plans that are in place of how we deliver some of the improvements across a multitude of areas, and again, I won't specifically focus in on all of them and work through them in great detail. But we have, by way of example, operating comparative functional plan with an action tracker, which demonstrates the performance that's been delivered to date. What you will see is it's some of the actions being completed since the conclusion of the year. Other actions may well be still outstanding and have been identified with red. And to some degree, and again, this is about authenticity to increase authenticity, if I present back to the authority of all the functional plans with everything that has needs to be complete, probably not an accurate reflection of those that we made. Some things have been prevented from implementation due to external factors. Other things, just down to some internal ones. Other things will be lifted and shifted from this functional plan into the next. But what I would say, primarily, in the driving of performance improvements, the vast majority of actions that contain with any areas function, any directed function plan have been discharged. I'm happy to pick up any specific details around any of them, particularly the people concerns over action get being discharged is to draw my attention to it.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any questions, comments, observations from members? Okay, so the recommendation before us here is members approve attached service delivery plan, update reports, appendix 1 to 10, publication on the website. All agreed? Thank you. We move on then please to item 6, the IRMP, now CRMP 24 to 27, post-consultation report. And you find this on pages 283 to 452. We propose that this matter will not be heard at today's meeting. It's recommended to extend the current IRMP until the next meeting, at which the draft CRMP will be received. Agreed? Thank you. 7, people plan. This item is being withdrawn from the agenda.
I take the opportunity to speak from the email.
On which item? No, it's not on the agenda anymore. Thank you. So we move on to 7, people plan. Page 453 to 500.
Thanks, Chair. The purpose of this report is to press the members approve the people plan 2024-27 following completion of consultation staff, key stakeholders, staff groups, and it's recommended that members note the actions contained within the people plan 2024-27 have been subject to consultation with said key stakeholders to approve the publication of the plan. Members will be well aware that the people plan is the overarching which will be contained within the plan, which will detail our quality, diversity, and inclusion actions, which are very much internally focused and externally focused to a greater or lesser degree, to how diverse the organisation is, what we do around positive improvements and so on and so forth. And equally, what we are doing in our reach into our communities to ensure that we are meeting our quality objectives as defined in an equitable way. What we will also have contained within the people plan as a direct link is the cultural action plan, which is in the process of being developed. Members will be well aware that we are focused on culture in the fire and rescue service more broadly, which is being subject to a number of reviews and process committee influence and interviews. As a result of that, we are in the process now of developing our own cultural action plan, which reflects the cultural Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service front-ended with a cultural dashboard, which will determine some metrics that we'll come back to the authority, which we determine suitable to scrutinise the performance of the service, but also to give us a good understanding of the culture within the service and hold ourselves subsequently to account in those report back on people plan in its totality, but also aspects of people plan. So the cultural action plan and the quality, diversity, inclusion action plan will be subject to the same levels of performance review and scrutiny. The people plan itself and the community management plan, which we'll come back to, and the medium-term financial plan, and being developed to complement each other. Provide us key strategic building blocks that allow us to achieve our organisational vision, and self-evident at the core is that really focusing on one team and ensuring that we put our communities first. People Plan itself is built on 5 key themes which are interrelated, and within each one of those areas there is a number of actions which have been developed to deliver against that particular theme thematic area to attract and retain the best people. Self-evidently, from a firefighting point of view, our recruitment is strong. From the retaining staff in regards to sort of the non-operational roles, like procurement, legal, and so on and so forth, the environment is more challenging. We really need to focus in on those particular areas to ensure that we recruit and retain the best people. And sometimes, I would say that's challenging. Develop exceptional people and their leaders. So again, members will be more than aware, considering within the people plan itself, the details our leadership vision, our leadership behaviours, deliver against that vision, and underpin our leadership message and the values which we will train and develop staff against. Promote a holistic approach to health and well-being, and that is the utilisation of holistic, while a little bit cliche, really is absolutely to mental and physical well-being. Our occupational health support, as I've said previously, is exceptional, and the kind of care we provide and the welfare that we give to our staff is really something we should all be proud of. Deliver sector leading organisation performance. Go back to the previous things on service delivery plan. They deliver better outcomes for the public Merseyside for absolute sure, and continue to perform at the highest level is key. And that is about maximising the capabilities of the people working in this organisation, their productivity and their effectiveness. And embed quality, diversity, inclusion as part of a positive and open and strong culture, which again underpins some of the things that we've said for a long time now. Members, we want to reflect the communities of Merseyside in relation to diversity and protecting candidates, but also in regards to responding to the differences from Merseyside as opposed to other fire services around levels of deprivation, and the adoption of the social economic duty drives that forward. From our perspective, and certainly something we are very proud of, not just from a Merseyside fire perspective, but the city region and principle that we've had around social economic duty. It touches on the consultation and in relation to the actual final document itself, and contained within the appendices is the equality impact assessment, which is comprehensive we provide. The need for this particular piece of work. The plan itself talks about some of the kind of key aspects of the work that we've talked about. There's an introduction and kind of forward, which kind of details our ambition around our culture, particularly. Moves on to the core code of ethics, which is developed by Local Government Association, National Fire Chiefs Council, and describe some principles that we would adhere to, notwithstanding the known principles which are applicable. Talked about our leadership message, moved on to leadership behaviours, and something we are in the process of developing which reflect contrary behaviours, and things that we don't want to see, there's things that we do want to see, and things that we don't want to see. Moves on to the important diversity inclusion and work we do there, references the HMI recommendations, fire standards, and then moves on to talk about those particular areas that I previously mentioned about the thematic areas that we will focus our attention on and deliver through the range of action to describe within. On that point, Chair, I'm happy to take any further questions or any aspects of further detail.
So thank you. Yes,
Yeah, again, it's not a question, it's just a comment, having shared meetings with other fire services on Teams and in person. I was immensely proud of the lead that Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service take in diversity and inclusion. And it's 2 years ago now, isn't it, since the spotlight came out where the shock of London Fire Brigade, where there obviously pockets of cultural beliefs or that were simply not acceptable. And the fact that this is such a strong positive message and people feel free to challenge, I just like to put on that. I think it's excellent.
thank you.
Thanks, Chair. If we can come back and answer those comments there. I think there's more we can do around for individuals to challenge. We do that. The culture of the organisation is strong and positive and certainly in respectful. And again, I want to say a few words about it tomorrow. Funny enough, I think we training on academy, but we do have people who come into the service and ask comments on the behaviours and the culture and how we make them feel. People who are external and actors. People who walk into the reception desk, right the way through to people who have access to our training facilities and so on and so forth. People who go into our station, to people who work with our prevention teams, state workers, stakeholders. They are, I often receive emails of people who take the time to explicitly kind of comment on culture. There's still self-evidently with regard to the HMI reports for Merseyside and on every cultural review. Still more work we can do. We know that. We want to kind of hit them around with can raise concern if we have some concern and consistently do that. But we are moving in the right direction in the cultural action plan. We will underpin that and then the metrics that will allow us to measure our performance and gauge that cultural quite powerful for us too. So we will only get better.
Any other questions on 7? Okay, so the recommendations are there. Note the actions contained in the people plan from section 7. Subject to consultation, stakeholders, staff network, representative bodies. B, approve publication of the plan. Is that agreed? Thank you. So we come to 8, which is the medium-term financial plan, 24-25, through 28-21. You find this on pages 501 and 522. So, Director of Finance.
Chair, if I may, I'm just going to pick up first and then go, which is just introducing it as a carver and those 3 legs of the street. And the financial plan. So there's nothing in this which members haven't already worked through, and I could have presented the medium-term financial plan. So, everybody will have to take some kind of questions and answers with detail within it, without reinforcing some of the points that were without how the members of the public access our information. Self-evidently, we want to make it a user-friendly document that the public can access. So we don't want to also our website alongside with documents that are indicated there. So I think all of that comes in and did cost
Thanks, Chair. The purpose of the report is to present members with a summary version of the medium-term financial plan. It's recommended that members note the summary version of the medium-term financial plan attached as Appendix A. Members will recall approving the medium-term financial plan budget in February this year. Members approved the balanced budget for 24-25 of 74.191 million. I don't intend to go through the details within the plan, as the Chief has just alluded to. With the plan that's just been reformatted to sit alongside the other documents. So the Appendix A provides members, employees and the public with a summary version of the medium-term financial plan, and it outlines the key elements contained within the plan. I can confirm that none of the data contained within the summary has changed from that which was approved by members in February this year. Happy to take any questions.
So this is a representation. Yes.
Thank you. Just a comment from a new member, so I've just joined the Fire Authority this year. And I wanted to say thank you so much for the information you've given me on finance and for your actual support going forward. It's really important for authority members to understand the background to decisions that have been made financially. And I have to say, given the, since 2008, when we were getting looking grants around 71.2 million, and we're now functioning on 61.7. I think you're doing an incredible job to keep a balanced budget against an austerity backdrop and a conservative government that has decimated public services. So I'm really grateful for what you've done. I'll definitely be taking you off of supporting future of the finances. Thank you.
It's always worrying that people know what you're talking
Chair, I mean, comments as well, over the period of austerity. So if you go back to 2018, statements from the members who will see against the austerity backdrop, significant transformation side. So at the time, we were talking about 26, 25, which is a big available to change the public needs. Stands not stand on the CRMP into a future meeting. So we are kind of investment back in, and the numbers of firefighters, police staff, prevention staff, protection staff is increased over the same period. And that is about efficiency, effectiveness of funding. We direct the significant amount of frontline services, which is one of the next one. Great dividends in regards to our performance and we'll get into
Okay, so any questions more? Otherwise, on 8, recommended amendment summary version, medium-term financial plan, 24-25, 28-29. That's Appendix A. Agreed? So we move to 9, associate membership of the Liverpool City Region Combined Authority, which you'll find on pages 523 and 526. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. The Liverpool City Regional Combined Authority have formally invited Merseyside Fire and Rescue Authority to become an associate member of the Combined Authority. As an associate member, Merseyside wouldn't have any voting rights, and the details of the benefits from both parties would be agreed within an MOU, and they are touched on paragraphs 6 and 7 of the report. There wouldn't be a cost for becoming an associate member if in the future any strategic joint working was to be agreed, and that would be a cost that we agreed with a separate terms and with a separate agreement, but just becoming an associate member would cost them. So it's recommended that members approve the invitation to become an associate member of the Liverpool City Regional Combined Authority.
Yes.
Just a quick one, just to say I'm broadly in favour of working closely with the bodies of the Liverpool City Region and the staff because we like it. I'm glad that it's a memorandum of understanding at this point, as I don't feel there's much need for a more formal structure. My question is to do with the non-continuity. Have Cheshire Fire had the same opportunity? Do we know if they're signing the memorandum as well?
I don't actually know the answer to that question, but I'll find out. I know there have been other councils that have been asked to be associated with that
from there as well. From a party point of view, we will be signing off on the amendment and we understand them in terms of come back to the authority in that respect, so you'll have a detailed understanding of what the detail is. class, that's an offer, so we're 12%. And we're comfortable with the arrangement that have been suggested, which is that collaborative working together, with shared ambition for the city. And Cheshire and Holland.
And, you know, some parts, it's right, we're part of Merseyside, this is part of the settlement in this county, the way it works. We want to play a full part in that. But it actually does go cross-border now, because the Southport Parliamentary constituency will represent parts into West Lancashire. In place there. Not to say that that means that they will be beating a path to the most efficient fire service in the country. Perhaps they will. But, you know, we are more than just Merseyside, and we need to work collaboratively. We have a legally stock requirement to work collaboratively with everybody else as well.
I suppose just to add, so obviously I'm Merseyside PCC, so the reason the Cheshire PCC is on my authority, so I suspect Cheshire Fire wouldn't be either. But obviously, as you say, there's a lot of crossover in terms of when things go over that border, we work closely where it's on combined authority, we pull them in as well. So I think that relation is there, even if it's not formalised in that way.
Ultimately, I think it's effectively 2 fire stations, and so it's not a very big thing, but
Also, I like it's ambitious as well. That's not in the base, that's the generation, that's what I'm responsible for. We know we have an understanding. I think it should be a bunch of things that the governments of the national capacity because it continues to be independent of the city. We know that the future government will be at the 5th of July. We know that there's a big organisations and thousands of customers of national names. And I think the worry for me is that there might be a possibility of the legislators being taken over of the actual name. We are one of the best in the country, so you've got something there that I'm not ways to make sure. So what is you want to change? You know, there's always issues with any organisation that we can deal with them, and we think that we've got a strong position. And other authorities are constantly taking the lead as well, so good practice of policies, some of the things that we've been changed over the years. So I'd say that should not be changed, but we have governance, relations,
Chair, if I may, really welcome to come back on that. Notwithstanding the points that you've made, I'm not sure that the members understand and will be that explicit around the governance in relation to the partnerships that Peter got. Collaborative endeavour to work together, and so in that particular perspective, we need to pick up in a different form.
it's another battle for another time. And we're the best performing firefighters in the country, and as you like to say, there isn't one. Yes.
Thanks, yeah, just to echo the kind of good vibes around working collaboratively. I was at a city region event a couple of weeks ago at Man Island, designing for new councillors. I went along again just to say hello to some folks, so it'd be great for the Fire and Rescue Authority to have a stall there, so we can be able to also just thinking of some massive potential infrastructure projects coming to our region. Maybe a tidal barrage, maybe new railway lines to Manchester, hydrogen networks, that kind of stuff. I know none of this is signed off, but it'd be great for the Fire and Rescue Authority to be there, you know, so we can get the first wind and stuff to feed into the plans, because they do bring real opportunity, but there are new risks there as well, aren't there, that we need to be outside on to keep going.
I mean, it is focus. Mersey Combined Authority is focused on the economic development of the county of Merseyside and those other issues. Looking at the police, with the fire, its health, all the departments which are part of this work. But they need to keep clear focus on the very important job of dragging Merseyside anywhere near the south its advantages. As I said, back to the- Okay, well, colleagues,
Can I just move the recommendation approved?
so that's recommendations approved. Now, the date of the next meeting with the authority is the 17th of October 24. Unless any other meeting needs to be called, which you will receive due notice. Thank you, colleagues.